So that's extremely important to make sure that we understand why you defaulted pursuant to your loan terms.
The Weekly Friedman, your source for the most essential information in the default industry, with your host, Adam Friedman.
Today we're going to be talking about HECM loans. About a year or two ago, HECM loans became one of the more popular loan types and have really been exploding across the industry. Today I'm joined with Friedman Vartolo counsel McNamara to help us work through HECM loans. How's it going, Megan?
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. Everything's great.
What is a HECM loan?
It's a reverse mortgage.
For someone who doesn't work in the mortgage industry, what does that mean?
So that basically means that, say for instance, you have a significant amount of equity in your house. You can use that equity to loan against it, in essence, to pay your everyday expenses.
So basically, if you have a lot of equity and you're an older person, you can keep your house and get the equity right away.
Absolutely.
Which makes a lot of sense, right? Because you can imagine how somebody in that situation doesn't really know what to do, right? Do they sell their house, but they want to stay there?
It makes a lot of sense in certain situations, for sure. Obviously, with the housing boom, prices are higher for real estate. People don't owe money or their mortgages have been paid off, so they can use that to really fund their retirement, medical expenses, etc.
When we're foreclosing on a HECM loan, is the reason for default normally the death of the individual that took out the reverse mortgage?
Generally speaking, it is. So there's a few ways that you could default in a reverse mortgage. The first one is failure to pay your taxes or homeowner's insurance. That's one. It is somewhat common. You do see that. The other one is death of the last surviving borrower. So if it was a husband and wife that signed it, whichever spouse is the last to pass away, that would be the date of default. Those are the two most common. Or if someone were to move to a nursing home or vacate the premises.
I think everyone in the industry knows that when a borrower that is going to be foreclosed upon is deceased, it adds a layer of complexity. I imagine with HECM loans, knowing that a large portion of them involve a deceased individual, that level of complexity really is across the entire loan class.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the first thing you need to do is confirm the purpose of the default. So you need to confirm whether it was deceased party, whether it was vacating the premises, or whether it was failure to pay the taxes or insurance. That's number one most important, because that's going to depend upon how you actually send your default notice. So as of late 2017, I believe, we now have to send a pre-foreclosure 90-day notice. And in that notice, it's going to detail the reason for your default. So that's extremely important to make sure that we understand why you defaulted pursuant to your loan terms. And at that point, if it is for the death of a borrower, as you mentioned, Adam, that's exactly right. It adds a complete layer of complication. We now need to, one, obtain the death certificate. That's the most important step. And then we need to figure out whether there were surrogates proceedings. And it can kind of branch off from there and adds a significant delay as well.
So sticking with New York for a second, what will this do to the timeline? I know every county is going to differ, but like on average, how many months would you say this is adding?
Significant. I would say between 3 to 6 months at least. One thing that we've been doing that's been super effective is that our clients have been having us send notices on their behalf. So that kind of starts the time period where we're saying, okay, we're going to send the notice and then we're going to start our due diligence on our end. We're going to get our title report. We're going to get the death certificate. We're going to figure out what we need to do in order to proceed. That's very effective, although I will note that there is some differential opinions as to whether you need to wait the full 90 days. Our position is if the borrower is deceased, you do not. You can proceed. We have other positions where we don't even think it's required. Again, because as you said, it's such a new area of the law, we're closely following everything, but best practice is to send the notice and then at least to wait 30 days, see if you get a response and kind of go from there. And frankly, on our end, it doesn't add to any timelines because you still have to do all of the other upfront work.
Let's say I'm an investor that just bought a large pool of HECM loans. Is there anything I should be doing as soon as I purchase before it's even referred to an attorney?
The most important thing that I would do is, again, confirm the purpose of the default. Number one, you want to get all the appropriate loan documents. You want to make sure you have your note. You want to make sure you have your mortgage. You want to make sure you have your loan agreement to the extent available. Those are things that I would do first.
I really appreciate it. This is very informative. Look, HECM loans are everywhere, and I think this information is really helpful to servicers dealing with HECMs and also investors that are purchasing them. So thank you.
Yeah, I agree, Adam. And I think, like I said, there's going to be a lot more case law in this area that's going to be closely developing. So we'll keep everyone informed.
Thank you for joining Megan McNamara and I on the Weekly Friedman, your source, the most essential information in the default industry. Thanks for tuning in and looking forward to seeing you next time.